David. David has been an assistive technology instructor here at the Carroll Center for the Blind since 2015, almost up on your 10-year anniversary, sir.
Getting close.
Yeah. He's also a 2007 graduate of our Independent Living program. David trains people of all ages to use assistive technology tools, including screen reader programs, MS Office, web browsers, and VoiceOver on the iPhone. David is the author of multiple books on formatting MS Word documents and web browsing with screen reader programs. He's also the president of the Bay State Council of the Blind, the Massachusetts affiliate of the American Council of the Blind, where he is active in policy advocacy. So thank you everybody for your attention and your attendance today at our technology fair, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of your day in today's presentation. I'm going to put this microphone here for you, David. Oh, geez.
Boom.
Let's make sure that that's in the right place.
Okay.
Nice.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I hear some very familiar voices in the room, so happy that you're here. So this morning is going to be about some relatively new, within the last year or two, developments using AI on the PC. And I'm sure you may be aware of some of these things. New stuff is coming out all the time. So as Tina said, I'm going to talk about JAWS Picture Smart. I'm going to talk about Be My Eyes for Windows, not the Be My Eyes, Be My AI that I'm sure many of you have on your smartphones, but how you can use the same program on your computer. And as an added bonus, I'm actually going to start off with something called FS Companion. FS Companion, FS stands for Freedom Scientific. That is essentially the company that gave us JAWS. And this is pretty new. It came out in beta in August, September, and it is an AI-trained large language model type of thing where you can ask questions about how do I do this in JAWS, or how do I do this in Word or Outlook or one of the Microsoft programs, or even Google Docs or Sheets. And the really neat thing about it, and I'm using it pretty much every day now, is that the answers it gives back to you will all be steps that you can do using your keyboard. So you may have Googled questions like, how do I do this particular thing in Word, and get back an answer when you Google it. Well, you click here and you drag there, or you hit the red button there, and so on. The answers you're going to get back are things that you can do with your keyboard. It's trained in that way. Secondly, I've found, when I've Googled things like, how do I do this in JAWS? And rarely do I get anything other than sort of a redirection to the JAWS help pages and so on. And this does this well. And I'll also say, if you are an NVDA user, do not tune out what I'm about to say here, because you access FS Companion on the web. You do not need to be a JAWS user. And if you're asking a question about, again, how do I do this in Word or Outlook or Excel, pretty much always the answers are going to be things that you do with Windows or Microsoft keyboard commands. So you can be an NVDA user and still get quite a bit out of this. So, and because you can access it on the web, again, you don't have to have the JAWS program loaded. So I'm going to sort of start by killing two birds with one stone in a way, in that I'm going to invoke FS Companion and ask the question, what is Picture Smart and how do you use it? So to get there, I'm going to go to my, simply open my browser.
Windows N.
And how's that? Is that too loud, folks?
Yes.
Well, I'll
take care of that, David.
Okay, probably a little louder, a little less loud. Okay, let me know. Is he?
Give it a try.
Windows N.
Okay, all right. And I'm going to open Google Chrome. Again, it could be any browser.
E, Google Calendar. C, Google Chrome. Enter. Selected. Blank. Address and search bar edit. Blank. Type.
And I may have my caps lock on.
Caps lock off.
Okay. Now, and we just type in the address bar fscompanion.ai. Spelling FSCOMPANION.AI. Now, I've gone there often enough that probably all I need to type is the letter F, and it will auto-populate.
Fscompanion.I selected.
fscompanion.ai, that's it, and I'll hit enter.
FS Companion Data Google Chrome David left parent Carol.org right parent. FS Companion Data Google Chrome David left parent Carol.org right parent page. FS Companion Data FS Companion.
Now we'll hit the control key to shut that up. Now this brings me to a web page, and sometimes you land right in the edit box where you can immediately start typing. I don't think I did because I didn't hear a little book noise. Okay, I'll hit escape to make sure I'm not in there.
Escape.
And I don't think I was, but I can hit the letter E for edit, just like you would to find any other edit box if you're on the web.
In the top, type your question to your edit. Blank.
I'll hit enter to get in.
Enter.
And I'm going to ask that question that I just mentioned to you.
H O the space E.
Oh,
E
so what is
double A S A E R C T U R E S M A R T A N space O space O space R space U S E space I T.
By the way, I don't care anything about punctuation, capital letters, or anything. I'll hit enter.
What is Picturesmart and how do I use it?
Picturesmart. But anyway. We hear tick-tock, tick-tock while it's...
Smart is a feature in JAWS that allows you to analyze and get descriptions of images. It can provide details such as the number of people in the photo, recognizable landmarks, landscape details, and any text present in the image. Here's how you can use Picturesmart: 1. Activate Picturesmart layer, press, insert plus spacebar, followed by E to activate the Picturesmart layer. 2. Choose a command, hollow round bullet. A, opens the Picturesmart dialog to acquire an image from a scanner or camera. Hollow round bullet. F, describes the currently selected image in File Explorer. Hollow round bullet. C, describes an image associated with the current control, such as a photo on the web page. Hollow round bullet. E, describes the contents of the Windows clipboard if it contains an image. Hollow round bullet, question mark. Displays both for the Picturesmart layer. 3. Use multiple services. Shift key to a command to use multiple services for more detailed descriptions. For example, insert plus spacebar, P, shift plus F, period. 4. Picturesmart folder. You can save an image in the Picturesmart folder to have it automatically analyzed. Access this folder by opening File Explorer, navigating to the Pictures folder, and then the Picturesmart folder. 5. Settings requirement. Ensure the submit anonymous usage data option is enabled in Settings Center to use Picturesmart. By using these steps, you can effectively analyze images and gain insights into their content using JAWS Picturesmart.
Okay, now, there's more things I can do here. I can ask follow-up questions, and I think I'll do that right now. Now, I may be in the edit field. I may not be. I'm just going to start typing because I think I'm in the edit field, and I'll just ask, can I copy the results?
C-A-N space I space E-O-E space C-A-E space R-E-S-U-L-T-S. Enter. Can I copy the results?
Tick-tock,
yes,
tick-tock.
You can copy the results from Picturesmart and JAWS. After Picturesmart provides a description of the image, you can use the following steps to copy the results. 1. Review the results. Once Picturesmart has analyzed the image, JAWS will read the description aloud. 2. Open the results viewer. The description is also displayed in the JAWS results viewer. You can open this by pressing insert plus spacebar, followed by R to open the results viewer if it doesn't automatically appear. 3. Copy the text. In the results viewer, you can navigate through the text using the arrow keys. To copy the entire text, press Ctrl plus A to select all, and then Ctrl plus C to copy the selected text to the clipboard. 4. Paste the text. You can then paste the copied text into any text editor or document by pressing Ctrl plus D, period. By following these steps, you can easily copy and use the descriptions provided by Picturesmart and JAWS.
Okay, now I'm going to escape, just make sure I'm not in the edit field.
Virtual PC cursor.
Now, because this is a web page, I'll go to the top of the page, Control Home.
Escape. Send message button. FS Companion Data.
And each question that I asked is actually a heading. If I hit H for heading.
Conversation with FS Companion Data, heading level 1. What is Picturesmart and how do I use it, heading level 2.
So that's a heading 2, and if I down arrow it, I hear the response that you heard earlier.
I copy the results, heading level 2.
And as it said, I could simply do a select all, Control A, copy it to the clipboard, and then paste it into a text editor like Word or Notepad or somewhere like that. And this is really nice, simple, easy to use. Now, if you have JAWS 2025, you can bring up PictureSmart as follows. You can be anywhere on your computer.
Escape.
I said PictureSmart. I meant FS Companion. With the layered keystroke where you hit insert space together,
Case.
and now F1.
FS Companion data. FS Companion data. FS Companion data. Type your question to your edit. Blank. Hello there. I'm excited to help you learn more about JAWS. Here are some things to know about our conversation. Both you can use the H. Shift plus H and up. Down arrow key.
This is explaining what I just said here.
Use the new conversation button to start a conversation about a new topic. To get started, just type your question in the chat box below.
Okay, so there was something mentioned there that if I want to start a completely new conversation, there is a button. I can hit B to get to that new conversation button, just so it doesn't get confused with the past conversation we've had. So that's a little introduction to using FS Companion to what PictureSmart is. Okay, now.
David, can you copy the steps?
Oh, I just mentioned that you can. I can do Control A, I can select all of it, I can copy it, Control C, and then I could paste it somewhere. So I've got all that information.
Okay, I thought you meant I thought you were saying that you could copy what it said in PictureSmart, but you can also copy all the steps.
Yeah, well, I was talking about FS Companion, but PictureSmart too. Yes, you can copy the results. And now we're actually going to do a little bit PictureSmart. Okay, so now PictureSmart came out in March. I think when I was talking about my book in March or April, I gave a little overview of that brand new feature. It has evolved, it has gotten better, it has gotten smarter, and I think it's going to continue getting smarter. And it's, again, another thing that I use every day. I imagine many of you use it also. And we can describe all sorts of different things. Okay, I'm going to go, for example, to my desktop right now.
This is escape.
I'll get out of the pictures, the FS Companion.
Title is FS Companion F4 desktop. Folder view list view Google Chrome 12 of 48.
So I'm on my desktop, and I think I'd like my desktop described to me. Now, this is also what's called a layered keystroke in JAWS. These all start with insert and spacebar, just like the insert spacebar, and then F1 if you want to invoke FS Companion using 2025. But I'll do insert space.
Case.
The letter P, that starts any PictureSmart session.
PictureSmart.
And we have a number of keystrokes. It was rattled off when FS Companion talked about it. I can have my window described, with W. I can have my screen described with S. I can have an individual file described with F, as in file. I'm going to have my window described here because I'd like my desktop window described to me. So after having hit insert space and P, I'll hit W.
PictureSmart is in progress.
And here too, we should have some.
Image shows a computer desktop with numerous icons organized in a grid pattern on the left side. The background wallpaper features a scenic view of.
And now that stopped because I need to put it in Say All, insert down arrow.
Image shows a computer desktop with numerous icons organized in a grid pattern on the left side. The background wallpaper features a scenic view of a stone bridge with arches, a small wood building, and snow-colored hills and trees under a twilight sky. The taskbar at the bottom displays several open applications. The overall scene is tranquil, with snowy accents giving it a winter ambience. Click Ask Questions of Questions.
Okay, now here too, there are a few things I can do. I can.
Locations. The overall scene is tranquil.
We have links here, so I can simply tab to those.
Ask questions about this image link.
I can ask follow-up questions, similar to what I did in FS Companion. Maybe there's some detail here I'd like to know more about.
Where are you asking the question, Dave? Where are you asking the questions? On the FS Companion or somewhere?
Right now I'm in PictureSmart now. I've left FS Companion behind. So I'm actually in PictureSmart. And again, we have 3 links here. The first is,
Ask questions about this image link.
I can ask follow-up questions. Secondly, I'll tab.
Get more details link.
I can get more details. We'll do that in a moment. Or
Give feedback about this feature link.
I can give feedback to Freedom Scientific about, well, good results, lousy results, whatever. It's still trying to learn. I'm going to shift tab back to
More details link.
get more details. Now, when I hit enter on this, this is going to generate Picture Smart results using two AI engines, ChatGPT and Anthropic company's Claude. I don't know where they come up with these names. And you might ask, well, why twice? Isn't that pretty redundant? And the idea is that if you get divergent results, that can be a flag that there's something wrong. You may have heard about AI has these things sometimes called hallucinations. It just makes stuff up. If the results are pretty similar, then that gives you confidence. If they're quite divergent, then there's a red flag and maybe not quite so good. So I'm going to hit enter on this get, what was it? I get more results or whatever it was.
Enter. Picture Smart is in progress.
And it's generating the results now using the two AI engines rather than just the one. I think it starts initially with ChatGPT.
Heading level 2 Claude.
Okay, and here's Claude. And these are headings. So I could, if I wasn't interested in Claude's results, I can hit H to get to the next heading, which should be the
ChatGPT heading level 2.
that ChatGPT results. I'll shift H, go back,
Claude heading level 2.
and I'll put it in say all. We won't listen to the whole thing.
Heading level 2 Claude disappears to be a computer desktop screenshot with a beautiful winter landscape as the wallpaper. The wallpaper shows a stunning nighttime scene featuring two stone bridges, with one bridge bringing the view through the arch of an illuminated church or monastery on the snowy hillside. The scene has a magical blue twilight quality, with the warm golden lights from the building and street lamps creating a beautiful contrast.
Okay. So we hear all of that. And again, I could ask follow-up questions. I can quickly, I should be able to, I think, either tab to where I can ask follow-up questions.
ChatGPT questions about this image link. Give feedback about this feature link. Claude heading level 2. Claude heading level 2.
Okay. When you do this, actually, if you want to ask the follow-up questions, you can simply type the question. So I'll just say something sort of dumb. Do you know where this the winter scene is?
This appears to be a computer desk escape.
Oh.
Google email and contact info.excel is escape.
Oh, it glitched me out there. But you can ask follow-up questions. Now, let me try to get an image file, get a description of that. I'll go find one on my computer.
Windows N. T. Training files. Enter. File Explorer. Training files. File Explorer. Training files.
And I'll hit P for some penguins.
PDF sample. Penguins on the beach.jpg. 26 of 45.
Now, normally, up until August, what I would need to do would be hit insert space, P, and then the letter F for file. However, it's gotten a little bit smarter and it will generally guess the context. If you simply hit enter, it will sort of guess the context that you're on this file, you want that file described, probably not like the overall window where this file is listed and so on. So I'm going to try that instead. I'll do insert space,
Case.
P,
Picture Smart.
and I'll hit enter. And it should guess the context that it's this image file I want described and not like the overall window that it's sitting around in. I'll hit enter.
Picture Smart is in progress.
Do you mind talk to
Image
me?
shows
Come here.
three penguins standing on the sandy beach. They appear to be penguins with distinctive orange and yellow markings on their heads.
And I need to put it in say all to hear the whole thing.
Shows three penguins standing on the sandy beach. They appear to be penguins with distinctive orange and yellow markings on their heads and necks. Two penguins face each other, while the third stands between them with its back slightly turned. The background is a blurred view of the ocean, suggesting a coastal environment. Link ask questions about this image. Link and more.
And I'll ask a follow-up question.
Link ask questions about this image. Enter. Type of question, edit. Type of text.
I'll ask if they're smiling.
A-R-E-S-P-A-P-Y-S-P-L-L-I-N-G.
A little hint. I know what the answer is going to be. I always ask this question.
Enter. Are they smiling? Entwicklung and the facial muscles to smile in the image. Taking for a deep breath and activating impressions of interaction or communication.
And did I need?
When
Okay, that was the whole answer. It's like dumb question, short answer. So, and I'm sure a number of you have used this too. What's really neat about hitting enter there is, for example, if you are, you can open like a YouTube video and you can freeze that video frame. And if you hit insert space P and then enter, it's going to guess pretty well that it is that frozen video frame that you want described to you, not the entire window with all the other busy things that are going on in YouTube. And that's pretty cool because when I first got this, or first played with it, I had to do it as a window. And I thought it was pretty amazing that it would describe a frozen frame in YouTube. However, I had to listen to a lot of other claptrap about what else is going on that YouTube window. How many people have seen this and all that other type of stuff. One thing that I heard recently in the December update coming of JAWS, they've enhanced it further. They're making it smarter still. So, for example, if you are in a Zoom meeting and somebody is sharing their screen, and you do that insert space P and hit enter, it will, in theory, be smart enough to figure out it's probably the screen share you want described to you, not all the other stuff going on in that Zoom window, which can be very, very busy. So it's really great, and it's going to continue to improve. And again, I imagine many of you have already started using it. If you have not, you really should, because it really is a great great new feature. Now, for those of you who are feeling maybe a little bit left out because you don't have JAWS and you don't have Picture Smart, again, the Be My Eyes folk, famous for Be My AI on the smartphone, have introduced, I think it's about 4, 5, 6 months ago, they came out with a Windows application of Be My Eyes that does similar things to what we just saw there with JAWS Picture Smart. Now, I'm going to say my opinion is that comparing the two, the JAWS Picture Smart really is more versatile. But if you don't have JAWS, the Be My Eyes for Windows can be a good substitute. And this is only the first iteration of it. So, I expect it to continue improving. There's no doubt that the Be My Eyes folks are fully committed to accessibility. I think it's going to get better, but let's play around with that a bit. Now, Be My Eyes for Windows, you need to go to the appropriate website, you need to download it, and you need to install it. So it's an app that you need to install on your computer. I already have it, so I will just invoke it by hitting the Windows key and searching for it.
Search box edit, type in text, 3D, Be My Eyes app, press right to switch preview.
And there it is, I'll hit enter.
Enter. Be My Eyes. Describe my screen left parent keyboard shortcut Alt plus Control plus H right parent button. To activate, press space bar.
Okay, that told us, it's very convenient. It tells you what one of the most important keystrokes is. Control Alt H to describe your window. Now, if I tab here, it's going to say a few other keystrokes.
Take picture using built-in camera left parent keyboard shortcut Alt plus Control plus E right parent button. To activate, press space bar. Now,
there I could take a picture with my camera. Now, the original keystroke, though, and I've changed it, you can change these keystrokes, was Control Alt J. Okay? Why do you think I changed it to something other than Control Alt J?
Because that enters JAWS most of the time.
Exactly, all the time. Okay? So that's going to create a conflict. So you can, I'm not going to go over that here, but I have written something up on this, and I'll share that like with the tech discussion list. So you can reassign keystrokes, and that Control Alt J, the moment I saw it, I said, oh, I need to figure out a way to reassign that so there's not like a conflict. Okay, I'll tab again.
Describe picture from File Explorer, left parent keyboard shortcut Alt plus Control plus K, right parent button. To activate, press space bar.
Okay, and I'll play around with these two. There's one or two more. So again, because this is now open, I can go anywhere on the computer and I can have my window described to me. Now, I'll go back to my desktop.
Windows N.
So we'll sort of compare and contrast here.
This is
Am I there?
This is K.
Try again.
Windows N. Desktop. Folder view list view. Training files dash shortcut. 30 seconds.
Okay, and as long as I have Be My Eyes for Windows open, I can use those shortcut keys. So it was Control-Alt-H to have my window described.
Control H, Be My Eyes, describe my screen, left parent keyboard shortcut Alt plus Control plus H, right parent button. To activate, press space bar. Be My AI tab, 1 of 2. To switch pages, press Control plus page down. Please wait. Be My AI is writing the message ... Question to ask the AI edit. Type in text. The image shows a computer desktop with a scenic winter background featuring a stone bridge and a lit dash-up building in the snowy landscape. The desktop is filled with various icons, including folders, shortcuts, and applications. Some of the visible icons are :Adobe Acrobat, WSCP3, Bitsball 2020. And
I'll hit Control so we don't need to listen to the whole thing there. Now, here too, I can ask follow-up questions. As far as I can tell, there's really no edit box. You just start typing. So I think I heard there was an icon for Adobe Reader. So I'll have it describe that. And I'll let it rip.
Enter message sent. Please wait. Be My AI is writing the message ... The Adobe Acrobat icon is a red square with a stylized white quote that resembles a ribbon or loop. This icon is typically associated with Adobe Acrobat Reader, a program used for viewing PDF files.
All right, and there we have that. And I could keep asking follow-up questions. Now, the one thing that you are supposed to do, but I haven't had success doing it, and I think I might write the company, is, in theory, like what we mentioned for the other, for the FS Companion, as well as for the PictureSmart, I should be able to simply select all of the text, Control-A, copy it with Control-C, go somewhere and paste it. And that has not been working for me. So that's something I want to check out, because if you can't grab that text, that is a bit of a shortcoming. In theory, you can, but I'm having a few issues with that. Now, how about that picture of the penguins? Okay. The thing here that is not as advantageous as with JAWS, you remember I went and found that picture in my one of my file folders, and I just quickly invoked the PictureSmart. You can't do it that way here. You actually have to sort of open up a dialog, and you have to find it that way. So you have to know your way through your whole folder structure and so on to do that. I'll escape out of whatever I'm in here. That keystroke was Control-Alt-K. Okay, so I will do that, and I'll find that penguins picture.
Control-K, Be My AI tag, 1 of 2. To switch pages, press Control plus page down. File name : open dialog. File name : edit combo. To set the value, use the arrow keys or type the value.
So we land in the standard file open dialog, which you need to know your way around. I'm going to Shift Tab back where I can find my list of files, and then hopefully I'll find the correct one fairly quickly.
Explorer pane, other training files, 1 of 6.
Okay, I happen to be in the correct folder just because I recognize that as the top thing in this training files folder. So I'll hit P for penguins.
PDF sample files, 2 of 6. Penguins on the beach.jpg, 6 of 6.
There they are, the JPEG file, and I'll hit enter.
Enter. Be My AI tab, 1 of 2. To switch pages, press Control plus page down. Please wait. Be My AI is writing the message ... Question to ask the AI edit. Type in text. The image shows 3 emperor penguins standing on the sandy beach. The penguins have black backs, white bellies, and distinctive orange-yellow patches on their necks. They appear to be interacting with each other, with the middle penguin facing the viewer and the other 2 facing towards it. The background is a bird view of the ocean with waves crashing onto the shore. The scene is bright and colorful, suggesting a sunny day.
All right, and I'll just ask one. I won't ask the same sort of lame question, I'll ask another one. Where do they live?
Enter. Message sent. Wait. My AI is writing the message. Emperor penguins live in Antarctica. They are well adapted to the cold environment and are known for their unique breeding behavior, which involves enduring the harsh Antarctic winter. They typically breed on the sea ice surrounding the continent.
I might want to ask more about that breeding behavior, but this is a family program, so never mind that. Okay? And that's a little bit about Be My Eyes for Windows. I think a pretty decent substitute for JAWS PictureSmart. However, I think PictureSmart is at least, in terms of thinking competitively, I think it's sort of in the lead right now. But a good alternative to PictureSmart if you don't have JAWS. We could go looking at more pictures and stuff, but I think it's a good time to just sort of stop for questions. Just wondering, how are we on time, if I may ask?
11:37 a.m.
Yeah, okay. All right, so any questions, comments? Or, if some of you have used some of these programs, what are some interesting things you've had PictureSmart describe or Be My Eyes?
Dave, we have a question right up front, then go right ahead.
David, hi, it's Jeannie. Yeah, I'm having an issue. I use PictureSmart a lot, but so I have this email, and I think the information about an event is in that email, but it's not in text, and I do see a graphic. So I have my cursor on the graphic. I use JAWS, and then I do PictureSmart. It tells me everything but that. It's not actually describing the graphic, which, I don't know which letter to use in that situation, or a graphic within an email.
Yeah, I've found that for graphics in emails, I often get the same results that you get. In other words, no results.
No results.
One thing, and I don't think this helps with emails, but there will be situations where you have pictures like on a web page where you don't have that particular issue, and it said it's and you don't get good results. One thing you always want to make sure is that your window is maximized. Alt spacebar X, because if PictureSmart can't actually see the picture, it can't describe it. But that issue, I don't think will solve the email issue, because once I started using it, one of the first things I did was exactly what you did. Try to find some pictures in an email, and it often just doesn't do a very good job.
And it doesn't identify the format. So just to follow up, you know how .png is like incorporated also in an email, separate from the word that Josh told me it was graphic, but later on in the email, does it do that? Do you have to separate that file? Does it have to be like an attachment instead of, again, within the email?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
PictureSmart to work.
Yeah, reminds me of a couple of other things that this is good for. If you're creating a PowerPoint presentation, there were a number of things that until things like PictureSmart and Be My Eyes weren't accessible. You can add background themes, sort of background formatting and foreground formatting. And it was completely inaccessible to know what you got. It was easy to do, but like you have these themes and they're called things like gallery and I don't know, Speedo or I don't know what. And they mean they convene absolutely no meaning to you. And with PictureSmart, you can get very nice detailed descriptions of that stuff now. You can also, if you have a chart, like a pie chart or a line chart in Excel, does a really, really good job of describing those. Now, I should mention, both of these are using ChatGPT, the Be My Eyes for Windows also. So that's good. You will tend to get similar results. Again, what happened with the penguins there and with the my desktop, the fact that they were pretty close, no coincidence, they're using the same engine, the ChatGPT. So, and I swear people find new uses of this all the time, but does a really good job with, I think, has made PowerPoint more usable, Excel charts, which were previously completely inaccessible, things that you can interpret. So Next question.
We have a question way in back, sir, go right ahead.
Yes, I have some video from my video camera. Is there a way I can show it on the screen? They can capture those videos and keep, I can preserve those films because I really can't. I was trying to download them off the camera. Is there a way they could do it so I can put them on my computer and play them?
Well, I mean, these programs don't put them on your computer for you, but if you can get that video onto your computer, and if you can pause it and freeze it at various places within there, you can get a freeze frame described to you.
That was the problem, trying to get them from the camera onto the computer, and I wasn't able to do that. With the disk, I couldn't, so I was able to copy it over.
Yeah. Well, with whatever wires or Bluetooth or whatever you have for your camera, you should be able to presumably, transfer that stuff into your video folder, and then be able to describe from there. Again, I don't know, about the hardware that you're using.
Yeah, I'm not sure if those cameras have Bluetooth. This is back 2006, way back then. So I don't know.
Oh, well, that old, that I don't know, but with any more sort of modern video device, you can certainly transfer those files to places where you can save them, because it would be sort of too bad if you couldn't save your videos. Mhm.
Are you nearing the end of the presentation?
Well, Chris has got a question. Chris, go right ahead.
So, David, out of curiosity, for matters of precision and ease of use, which one would you choose over the other?
Ease of use, definitely Picture Smart. Precision, because the results are both Chat GPT, it's sort of a wash. It's the same. It's really the same. The Picture Smart, you saw, for example, I think it's just much quicker, more easy to invoke. Again, if I got on a file, all I needed to do was invoke Picture Smart. I didn't have to go and sort of find it in my whole folder structure. So I think Picture Smart is the better alternative. If you have JAWS, that's what I'd use. But if you don't have JAWS, Be My Eyes is still good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Any last questions? Oh, yes, go ahead.
I know this isn't your topic, but does VoiceOver have something similar? So I have lots of pictures on my phone and don't really know what the picture's all about.
Oh, well,
But it's on my phone.
before there was Be My Eyes on the PC, there was the Be My Eyes app that is there, and with Be My AI. And Be My AI is what I and many, many other people use when it's the phone that we're talking about. Yeah.
I didn't know to do that. I didn't want to bother anybody with the Be My Eyes, but the AI I don't mind.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, David.
Thank you all, and have a very happy Thanksgiving.